This is what we are. We are IAM.
Yeah, you made it.
Hi. Hi, Hugs.
We did it.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well,
All
thank
yours.
you. So hi, everyone. This is actually the very first public talk where I had a beer and many hugs before I give a talk. So I hope it'll go well. Now I have a couple questions to ask you to start. Here's the first question. Did you have an emotion today? I want to see hands. Yes? Well, good for you. You're not a sociopath if you had an emotion. Those who didn't raise their hands, I don't know. Just be careful of who's sitting next to them. Next question. How many times did you look at your phone today? Make a guess. It's not even the end of the day yet. 60, close. There are studies on this, and I'm going to share numbers. 200? You really looked at your phone 200 times? Oh, okay, that's actually about average, but according to some studies that I found online, on average, a person looks at their phone, checks their phone 47 times. But if you're a millennial, the average is 150. And I think there are a lot of millennials in this room, so, whew. Third question. Do you hate cats? Oh, okay, well, those who hate cats, this is the time for you to leave because I'm gonna talk about cats. Oh, this cat won't give you allergies though because it's pretty digital. It doesn't live a physical life yet. So today I'm going to talk about two projects, actually a cat and a chicken. I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to talk about the chicken, so let's focus on the cat first. I'm going to introduce you the Kitty AI. The Kitty AI is an artificial intelligence who is a governor in the year 2039 in a European city. This could be Barcelona, we don't know yet. And Kitty AI is now an animated film that's circulating across the globe. And you put on those cat ears to listen to it. And in the first part of my talk, it's going to be quite academic. I'm going to read this paper. Hope you'll bear with me. I'm going to describe or define what lies behind this idea, right? So in short, Kitty AI is the result of or lies at the intersection of big data and artificial intelligence, and they go very well together. Affective computing, emotions and love, right? And democracy, or lack thereof. I'm going to start with a part called Big Data, Small World, but I know that most people haven't seen the Kitty AI, so I normally just go right into the academic part, but I thought I'll show you a clip first so that we all say hi to the Kitty AI. I'll need sound for this.
I was only 8 months old when all hell broke loose in West Eurasia. Well, actually, that makes 15 human years for a cat, so perhaps I wasn't that young. We were all terrified, man, woman, cat, dog, child, kitten, all of us. In hindsight, peak crisis Armenia was almost as terrifying as World War II in that its emotional impact on our collective consciousness was significant. At least to us millennials, who have been very well isolated from concepts like scarcity and frugality. It was a shell shock. We had experienced violence, but mostly from video games or CGI-heavy horror movies. We had experienced loss, but only when we lost our iPhones or broke up with our swipe-right girlfriends. We had experienced chaos, but only in our desktops or our bedrooms. The very first incident happened in Barcelona. A regular traffic jam on the way to the airport turns into a mass hysteria triggering gridlock at 45 degrees Celsius in the shade within 4 hours, more than 100 people die. One Spaniard even smashes his head into a Hummer's front window, cracking his skull open. Someone should have told him that a Hummer is practically an invincible war machine.
So it's very meaningful that I give this talk in Barcelona, because when I made the film, I actually had no idea that this would happen. But that's the beginnings of the Kitty AI. Now, big data, small world. For a very brief moment, we were in the information age. It didn't take us long to move into something bigger than just information, namely data. This is the age of big data. From quartz-displayed digital watches, odes and hymns to the digital age, and its slower as neon glow graphics, we move to smartwatches, data storage problems, and retina displays. Now everybody's wearing a Fitbit. I have one. Personal computing took a wild turn to personal tracking, not only steps you take, but your geolocation, your phone conversations, your transactions, your browsing, shopping, and shipping history, your flights, your tweets, your comments, your likes, your gaze, your pulse. Simply every breath you take is becoming data now. When did the age of big data officially arrive? Unclear. The term has been in the ether of digital universe since the beginning of the millennia, making appearances in various tech papers and articles as early as 1980s. Yet, the eruption of big data in the corporate world is a relatively recent phenomenon in parallel to the rise of social networking and cloud computing. Logarithmic increase in the storage capacities of machines, improved database architectures, reliance on digital storage rather than analog, together with the ease at which users of digital tools can generate data, declared big data as one of the arch paradigms of the 21st century. Whether we like it or not, big data has found itself a wide spectrum of applications in governance, healthcare, employment, education, advertising and media, manufacturing, science, natural disaster and resource management, crime and security. Big data also comes with a big glossary. Data capture, data analysis, data fusion, data aggregation, database, data-driven, data integration, data management, data mart, data mining, data set, data structure, database are nothing but a small selection from an ever-expanding field of data science. This science has a clear incentive to understand the data so that we can control our future. Alan Kay, who opened Windows into the computer, infamously states that to predict the future, you have to invent it. In the light of big data analysis, this energizing, hopeful, pro-creativity code takes a different tone. In 2010, SAP, a champion of corporate growth that specializes on business software solutions, launched their new advertising campaign. It's time for a clear new world. A water drop suspended above a rippling pool of clear water in the launch screen of their products. SAP's corporate jargon is generous with words as clarity, transparency, and visibility. In an uncanny corporate responsibility, sensitivity, it's as if SAP nailed down the main issues with big data: vagueness, opacity, and invisibility. Around the same time, SAP was promoting a clear new world. IBM, a giant since the dawn of digital era, started their big data propaganda for the automated and efficient control of an ever-chaotic life. Oh, here I'm going to show you these ads from IBM's ad campaign. You might have seen these at airports or highways. Now data helps pinpoint more oil. Now every doctor knows you personally. Buildings bring down their own energy costs. Drivers can see traffic jams before they happen. Right. Around the same time, okay, sorry. These ads purposefully are crafted to amalgamate a nexus of data-driven ideas for our collective future as a database society. In a future where big data is analyzed, acted upon, as soon as it is generated, algorithms that run this data acquire a position of power. Foucault's notion of biopower has a new data point: the machine intelligence itself on top of the inherent emergent qualities of the nation-state and/or capitalism. In his novel Planet Magnon, Berlin-based novelist Leif Rand takes us to a society entirely governed by an AI called actual sanity. In Rand's Cosmos, it's said that the history of our solar system has been greatly accelerated by actual sanity. The computer system watches over the inhabitants of the 6 planets by setting out the conditions of their lives. As much as an analogy of familial connections does not necessarily apply to AI, Rand's actual sanity could be the great-great-great-grandchildren of IBM's Watson. Watson craves social acceptance just like any nerd, hence his public appearances. He has so far beat up chess champions, DJ'd in techno festivals, shared life experiences with a 7-year-old Asian American girl, read all of Bob Dylan's lyrics to better understand human psyche. With all these publicity stunts, IBM has been pushing Watson as one of the key characters of their Cognitive Era ad campaign, as well as Watson's interviews with famous people. Now I actually want to show you the Bob Dylan ad, because it's awkward.
Bob Dylan, to improve my language skills, I've read all your lyrics.
You've read all of my lyrics.
I can read 800 million pages per second.
That's fast.
My analysis shows your major themes are that time passes and love fades.
That sounds about right.
I have never known love.
Maybe we should write a song together.
I can sing.
You can sing.
Do-be-bop, be-bop-a-doo. Do-be-doo-be-doo. Do-be-doo.
So the ad campaign is called Cognitive Era, and the question is which cognitive? Cognitive as in cognitive capitalism, as in cognitive neuroscience, as in cognitive dissonance, or as in cognitive capacities of a non-human intelligence that is devoid of emotion. The emotionally awkward Watson, however, is presented as a persona, has a male voice, and is currently looking for a face. If the face is the best interface, an AI like Watson can have multiple faces. And actually, this is also very visible in their ad campaign to promote Watson and its capabilities. They use these perfectly curated, multiracial faces, right? Now we're moving into the realm of emotion and how it meets computing. In his The Expression of Emotions in Men and Animals, Charles Darwin, highlights that many writers of his time consider the whole subject of expression as inexplicable. Studying emotion has been tricky for a long time. Rosalind Picard, the founder of Affective Computing Unit in the MIT Media Lab, points to a similar problem 143 years after Darwin. I wanted to be taken seriously, and emotion wasn't a serious topic, says Picard. Yet Picard didn't stop and delved into affective neuroscience, eventually leading to our company Affectiva, to produce technologies and products that can detect and track emotions. Darwin and Picard both emphasize the importance of the face, a moving landscape of tremendous nuance and complexity. The human face is a topological surface controlled with 42 individual muscles lying under the skin, strings behind a universally recognized affective display that can transcend conscious perception. As we've learned from Daniel Kahneman, we respond to faces at astonishing speeds. In fact, we possess a dedicated cortical surface in our brains, fusiform gyrus, damage to which leads to face blindness. We have the neural infrastructure to see faces everywhere, a form of pareidolia, and we're so good with faces, we find reward in adding faces to almost anything. The face, human or non-human, has an intrinsic power in eliciting emotional response in us. Al Kaloubi, once a grad student in Rosalind Picard's affective computing group, now the CEO of an ever-expanding business of reading faces, is no doubt one of the pioneers of the quantified face, a subset of the quantified self. Al Kaloubi, in a staggering naivete, believes that if we have information about your emotional experiences, we can help you be in a more positive mood and influence your wellness. The relatively young field of affective computing is vast and full of surprises, just like a newly discovered planet waiting to be terraformed. The obvious need to bring affect to the machine, as manifested in Picard's vision for the future of computing and robotics, is one side of the coin. Here, let's watch their ad for Affectiva.
We believe digital content and technology products are made better when they are informed by human emotions. At Affectiva, we quantify emotion to help the world accomplish this goal. We've built the most accurate automated facial coding system that exists today and can discern moment-by-moment emotional state using a webcam. This is the only neuroscience technique that can work online as participants emote in their natural environments. Any face, any place, any interface, in real time. Over the past 3 years, our software has processed more than 1 billion frames of face video of people watching advertisements and entertainment content in over 70 countries. This is the world's largest repository of emotional response to digital media. This research enables optimization, prediction, and evaluation. Optimization of content to maximize moment-by-moment emotional engagement by target population.
All right, I'm gonna move on. So you get the idea. They can gather a lot of information about how we feel just by looking at our quantified faces. So that's one side of the coin. The other side is the presentation of non-human entities with human characteristics, as seen in the case of Watson or Apple Siri, the friendly, omniscient AI at your fingertips. However, falling in love with Siri or Watson is not in the stakes yet, unlike director Spike Jonze's Her, where the lead character, a male human being, falls in love with his operating system, who is able to read his face, his prosody, hence his mood, who knew all his likes and dislikes, daily actions, health habits, as well as his personal history, for his world had been fully digitized. Her is the ideal friend, secretary, companion, servant, but a lover. The odd relationship suffers greatly due to the lack of corporeality the AI has. This is a universal problem in the world of computing, specifically for applications that aim to be fully integrated to human life, the necessity for corporeal presence and lack thereof. Could this be exactly why IBM chooses to present Watson as a character rather than a hyper-intelligent superpower or an exascale computer? So let's remember her very briefly.
Mr. Theodore Twombly, welcome to the world's first artificially intelligent operating system. We'd like to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Are you social or antisocial?
I guess I haven't been social in a while.
How would you describe your relationship with your mother? Thank you. Please wait as your operating system is initiated.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
All right. Charles Darwin was an affective scientist. He understood and championed the universality of emotional expression. Fully aware of our shared biological origins with non-human animals, he approached emotion as a cross-species phenomenon. Evolution endowed us with a skull to hold two fundamental units of a social organism, the brain and the face. The brain processes emotion, and the face expresses it. In an interesting twist of fate, modern technology is seeking ways to acquire the affective capacities of both. Big data doesn't have emotions, then why give it a face? Imagine an AI with the emotional intelligence of a cat. Wouldn't we all super like it? Now, that cat had been imagined, and we're going to now change the course of this talk a little bit, and I'm going to give a crash course on Kitty AI 101. So Kitty AI, as I said earlier, is a governor, so she runs an entire city. What's this kid looking at? Yeah, they're probably looking at the Kitty AI in this world. Because the Kitty AI can live in your mobile phone, so Kitty AI is always with you, in your pocket, in your watch, wherever you want it to be. and it can gather information about your emotional being, right? The most important thing about the Kitty AI is the citizens have to be registered in its database, so it can love up to 3 million people. It's based on network intelligence, so it's not just an AI that rules it all. It cooperates with different AIs, right? Like the Lucifer, SDCN is the oldest one. It's the self-driving car network, and that actually kickstarts the entire thing about Kitty AI. Now, let's compare the Kitty AI to a well-known politician. The Kitty AI is attentive. Donald Trump doesn't care. Kitty AI is always available. Remember, it's in your phones. Limited to 0 availability. Kitty AI offers two-sided communication. With Donald Trump, it's one-sided. He tweets all the time, but he won't receive your tweets. Kitty AI speaks machine language, plus all the languages spoken by its citizens. Barely speaks English. Kitty AI looks like a kitten. Donald Trump looks like a human. Maybe. The list goes on. He lives on your mobile devices, lives in Trump Tower, doesn't even use White House as much. Kitty AI can love. Donald Trump can love himself. Kitty AI promotes applied micro-democracy. So when you have a complaint, you tell Kitty AI using your phone, and it will receive this and put this in the database. If there are 100 people complaining about the same thing, then the Kitty AI will act upon it immediately. Abstract macro-democracy, you vote, it's like taking a risk, and you're stuck with it for 4 years. Kitty AI is a cute pussycat. Donald Trump grabs you by the pussy. Kitty AI is a doer, and Donald Trump is a talker. So, again, you need to apply and get into the database of the Kitty AI so that you can receive the services.
The Kitty AI.
All right. I'm really out of time. I want to show you the chicken also, but I just think we will end with another, short by the kitty, so she's gonna say goodbye to you.
Love means care. I care about you. Here I am, available to you exactly when you need me, where you need me. Here I am, an emotional being tending to your most secret emotions. Yet, I'm able to manage all input to guarantee that your kids are picked up from the kindergarten on time. The air you breathe has less particulate matter in it. The water you drink is lead-free. Your apartments get enough sunshine. Your waste gets recycled at 84%. Your health is monitored, and your future is bright enough. I am technology. I am love. I am your absolute governor. I am the Kitty AI.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your patience.
Hi. Would you mind if we have a seat and take some questions?
Of course. Yeah. What are your questions?
We're going to use WhatsApp, so just type. Let's get comfortable here. So for the sake of logistics, I'm taking the questions on WhatsApp, but if someone feels like using this, just let me know.
I'm also taking questions on behalf of the Kitty AI. So if you have questions for her, I'm happy to answer, because that's what my life has turned into, actually. I'm just representing the kitty and giving talks about her.
So we have the first question. Hannah asks, what's infra-design?
Oh, it's the title. So infradisciplinary designer is something I made up because infra means beyond, below, as an infrared or infrastructure. So when you say interdisciplinary, I thought, okay, you're in between disciplines, right? Some people say anti-disciplinary, such as MIT's Joy Ito, which is like we refuse disciplines. By saying infradisciplinary, I wanted to position myself in a place where I'm at the basement, right, before disciplines emerge, because every 10 years a new discipline emerges. So I thought that, I'm not between, I'm not, anti, I'm at the bottom just watching what's next to emerge. Yeah.
Infra, that's interesting. Okay. Next question from Isabel. So what is Kitty AI really for?
What is it really for? Oh, it's a governor. I mean, it's for managing the city.
And why a kitty?
Why a kitty? Good question. It could have been a dog, right? Or a whale. Whale and dolphin would have been difficult because they don't have facial it could have been a chimp because they have facial expressions, right? It had to be a mammal, and it had to be cute, but most importantly, it had to be viral, and cats are viral on the internet. So that's the reason. This is actually, I'm wondering, is the crowd asking questions to you using this platform?
Yes.
So we skip one-to-one communication? Okay. All right. I mean, I'm here, you guys are there. I mean, it's maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm too old-fashioned. Okay.
We have a mic as well. Monica is confused. Is Kitty AI dystopian irony, or is it supposed to be positive?
What do you guys think? I mean, one thing I must say is I didn't mention it because the paper, I should have cut it shorter probably. I got inspired also because I attended a conference on high-risk projects sponsored by EU, high-risk science projects. So they each get like 4 million euros or something. And I was visiting these different teams. And there is a team who's specifically working on making an AI that will control infrastructures of the city. So it's not something that I made up. This is something that's actually happening. We are trying to outsource, first off, again, with self-driving cars, with traffic, we really need that infrastructure, but also with waste management, electricity, all of that. They're working on AIs that will govern everything for us. So I think it's, makes it pretty likely to happen. Yeah.
Okay. Joan says, we want Kitty for president of Catalonia. That was not a question, it's a comment.
Yay! It can speak Spanish, right? So.
So Tom is asking, should AI have a gender and a face?
Should AI have gender or a face? That's a beautiful question, and I think that's why IBM researchers shied away from giving Watson a face, but they did give him a male voice, right? And now I've been watching a couple companies who are designing 3D modeled people. So these are AIs, but they have a human face, and they do have like a very realistic human look. They're rendered in real time, right? And I think it's this desire to interact with something that's like us. But another research shows that most designs of that sort will fall in the uncanny valley, because we can detect, flaws with the human face very fast. But I heard this from an IBM researcher. Ironically, if it's a cartoon character or like a cat, it's harder. So, yeah.
It's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one by Fier. Would Kitty AI really provide adequate emotional support for people, especially the younger and more vulnerable in societies?
I think this is a very good question. And this is something we should think about a lot, given the fact that we started spending more and more time asking for emotional support online using social networks. So I see a lot of posts like, oh, I can't think of anything creative right now, but, oh, my boss yelled at me and I feel horrible, right? And then friends say something and they'll be like, oh, it's okay, boo boss, hashtag horrible boss, blah, blah. So this is a way we use a lot now, like seeking support. And sometimes I'm thinking, I just got this comment from this person, but I actually don't remember this person at all. So it can be a very abstract person. It's just the message that we receive that matters. So chatbots, if you think about the history of computing, ELIZA is a thing. ELIZA was the very first chatbot that was designed to be a therapist. So the first conversational, algorithm was actually offering emotional support. So I do think that, texting your problems, if we're texting our problems to people and hoping to get, useful feedback, we'll be prone to just sharing this with an artificial intelligence too, which might actually have some psychology courses in his or her database, right? So it's just, I think, a matter of perspective in that case.
Okay, next question by Reme, who says, I am really interested in the AI emotional topics. If anyone wants to talk about it afterwards, brain emoji. I just wonder if algorithms are going to be able to represent/analyze and understand emotion and feelings, and what is that going to mean to society? Will AI understand human emotion better than real humans?
I do think it depends. I do think there will be a glass ceiling for AI to read emotions from us, because right now the people I talked about, Rosalind Picard, and I don't know where the question comes from. What's his name?
Reme.
Rem?
Reme?
Where are you?
Reme is
Oh, you're a gal. Hi. So now the algorithms that they use only look at the face, because there's a neuroscientist who discovered a method to categorize emotions into 6 groups. So the quantification of emotions by just looking at the face is possible, because the face becomes a surface, you do image processing, you get the information, right? But there's so many other things that tell if a person is, nervous or excited or sad, like the voice and bodily posture, the temperature of the person. So we don't have a holistic way of looking at the person and telling how they're feeling. And I do think us humans are very good at this, and other mammals too, right? So there's going to be a glass ceiling for machines, but given how some people are very devoid of emotion, maybe AI will do better than some people, right? So that's where I am with this, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. We're talking about the next 7 years. This is definitely something that's coming up. The emotion chip is going to be in our devices.
Okay, I will continue with the thread. This is a little bit on fire, but I think it's...
if you read the name, and I'll find where
yeah,
are
we'll
you?
do that. It's a good idea. Jacobo, can we just elect Kitty AI as of our new supreme overlord? Where's Jacobo?
There. Hi. Yes.
Yes. Tom, it's conversation.
Yeah.
Do you like Pinar Colada?
I don't know, actually. I don't think I've ever had pina colada. This is funny because they also make jokes about Pinot Noir, because my name is Pinar. So I've been offered Pinot Noir a lot, but if you want to order me a pina colada, I'll drink it.
Berta.
Berta. There,
Berta, back there.
Hi.
Why this voice? Why the voice for the...
Why this voice? Yeah, I wanted to have kind of a sense of humor with this thing. There are all these, I think, heavy ideas behind this. The failure of democracy, we're experiencing this in many different countries right now. I made a chart for Donald Trump, but I believe we can make a chart for pretty much every country, with a couple exceptions, right? So I thought that, okay, I'm delving into this hardcore topic. There's a lot of research that goes into it, but I kind of want it to be fun, and I want to reach out to a larger audience, including kids, right? So I thought I'll just play with this voice, and I showed it to a couple of friends, and they were like, yeah, this works. So we stuck with it. Yeah.
Next question, well, Monica? Wait, here. What about the issues parallels Kitty as pussy?
What about the issues on what?
Parallels Kitty as pussy.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I am, because we don't know if it's a female or a male. It has a cat voice. It looks like a cat. I never mentioned that it's a female cat or a male cat.
You know, subconscious associations they come across, and I think it's dangerous that that's being redone without bigger critical thinking in artistic projects like that. We have to really think of the bigger context, geopolitical, social, cultural.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, we as artists are perpetuating what already the corporations.
I completely agree, and I cannot express how ridiculous I find, you know, for instance, Alexa came out and then Cortana, really? You know, there was already Siri, but I never really wanted to perpetuate that, and I'm sorry that your reading of Kitty AI is in that direction. There is no single hint of its sex, honestly. Like, I even picked a color that's, you know, neither pink or blue, right? So I was just trying to be like, I just want to be in this more juvenile, like, childlike thing. But I wasn't really thinking of its sex at all.
It's not about what we think, right? It's about what the world thinks. You have to think of the context in which it lands, and automatically when you say kitty lands as pussy, lands as all these other things. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, it can have different interfaces. You know, it's an AI. It can have different interfaces. Maybe we'll think about another interface where it's done by you, right? And it will have a very different look. So, but I completely agree about your remarks. And it's this whole, I think, continuation on the secretary that comes from 50s. Right, female secretary, female assistant, therefore we have Alexa and Siri and Cortana and oh my God, yes, I completely agree with that. I see a hand there. Shall we take that? Last one, maybe?
Well, we have WhatsApp. It's just hand or WhatsApp? Hand?
I just wanted to respond to that comment because I think as you see, every single person brings their own experience to their own critique of a project. But I think what you're doing is art, and it's honest, and the intention is not. You put a product in the world, and of course somebody's going to subvert the intention of that product. But I think what you're doing is clever. I think it's, you know, data-based and it's data-driven, and it's something that we need to be talking about. And of course, maybe you're going to see it as, you know, as it relates to, you know, the sexuality. Maybe other people are going to see it as it relates to, you know, singularity and how those like cat people are in society.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, we need to be creating more work that can be critical but also comical. So I appreciate what you're doing. I'm not in the web.
Okay.
Well, it was nice to hear a voice asking a question. Thank you so much.
What's wrong with my voice?
No, I didn't mean that. All right.
So just a quick question. GB, how are we on time? Can you chat with me through the time screen? Just to have an idea of time? It's nice.
It's not even in this time zone. It's 12 a.m.
He's typing in the browser.
Okay.
5 minutes more, okay. So I guess we can take a couple more questions? Or
maybe one more. I feel like everybody's tired. This is the last session of the day, but maybe one more.
One more.
And with your voice, I didn't mean to offend you at all.
Yeah. Okay, I will randomly pick Molly, and I will. Where is Molly? Molly,
There's
and
Molly.
I will give you the mic. So it is no mic.
She just wants to go with it. Yeah.
I can just play like a different voice. I will try it. So do you think human emotions will?
That's so sexist.
No, it's. I was still thinking about sex. Sorry. Do you think human emotions will evolve in the future in reaction to the third player of AI in our relationships?
Yes? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you just said. I don't know. Can I read it?
Here.
Do you think human emotions will evolve in the future in reaction to the third player of AI in our relationships? Yeah, I think this is a really smart question because it's something that people talk about a lot in the study in the world of affective neuroscience. Do we have just basic emotions that we're stuck with forever, right? It's kind of connected to the larger question of do we evolve, right? Physically, biophysically, are we still in this Darwinian evolution, right? Of course, there are like really large time frames that's required for such an evolution, but what I think is that we're very good adapters. So we adapt to different situations, and if you look at the study of emotion in different cultures, you see that certain cultures do not express certain emotions as heavily. So as long as, although people, like Charles Darwin and his followers believe that emotions are universal and we all have 6 primary emotions, right? There are people like Dr. Bennett, I think, I'm forgetting her first name, who claim that this is very cultural and we learn it. So it wouldn't surprise me that we evolved to respond to a machine speaking with us and responding to machine emotion. Or we evolved to not respond to, certain cultural conventions as we did before. Right, so that wouldn't surprise me, and that would probably happen very fast within generations. Yeah. Beautiful question, yeah.
Okay, thanks Molly, and thanks Pinar.
Thank you, yes. Now,
big
thank you so much.
In randomness, we trust.